What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with my review of the Moto E 2020. So let's get started. So this is one of Motorola's latest budget devices, the Moto E 2020, and this is my review of the phone. The first thing I want to say is that this device has come a long way from last year's predecessor, which was the Moto E6. Now, I'm not sure why this particular phone is not called the Moto E7. I believe that's actually the name for it in international markets, but at least in the US, Motorola is marketing this phone as just the Moto E. So I don't really care about the name. What I care about is the phone and whether or not it's good. And the good news is that this is very impressive. Now, the device features an MSRP of $149. However, it's being offered by a variety of different carriers. So that's most likely the route to go if you want to save the most money. But I'm sure the unlocked retail price will go down as time goes on. So take a look at the link in the video description to see the current price of the phone. Now, with the Moto E 2020, we're getting a pretty large 6.2-inch display. Now, the display itself is IPS LCD at 720p. We're getting a PPI of 271, a 19:9 aspect ratio, and a 78.4% screen-to-body ratio. Now, despite the display being 720p, things do look nice and crisp and clear here, and the colors are very good as well. The only shortcoming that I could see with the display here on the phone is that it doesn't get quite as bright as other devices that I've used, but it does get bright enough that it's not an inconvenience. Now, I do have the brightness up to 100% right now, and like I said, things do look good. It's just that I've used other phones in this price range that do get a little bit brighter, but it's really not a major concern. Just wanted to point that out. Now, up top here, we are getting a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, which is in the water drop notch on the phone. Now, in addition to having a water drop notch at the top, we do have a little bit of a thicker bottom bezel, but in general, I think the phone does look nice. The design looks like something that probably could have come out about a year ago, but still, I don't have any issues with it. Now, with the Moto E 2020, we're getting 32 gigabytes of internal storage, and we also get microSD card expansion. Now, for a phone at this tier, 32 gigs is pretty acceptable. Of course, I always like to get more storage than that, but again, 32 gigs for a phone in this price range is acceptable. Now, there's no wireless charging here with the phone, but we do have a fingerprint sensor on the back. Now, there is no face unlock with the device, so if you don't want to use a PIN code to access the phone all the time, and you do want it to have security, then you are going to have to use this fingerprint sensor. So we'll give that a try right now. So it's a pretty fast fingerprint sensor, maybe not the fastest one ever, but it certainly does get the job done. And it's a step ahead by far of last year's Moto E6 because that phone didn't even have a fingerprint sensor. So I'm glad that the Moto E 2020 does have one. Now, also on the back of the phone is a dual camera setup. So we're getting a 13 megapixel main camera and a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera for portrait mode. Now, you can take portrait mode photos with both the front and rear cameras on the device, which is really awesome. Here's how things look through the front-facing camera. Now, later on in the video, I will be showing you photo and video samples from the phone, but in general, I've had a very good experience with the cameras here on the phone. Now, internally, we're getting 2 gigabytes of RAM and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 632. Now, 2 gigs of RAM is really not enough necessarily, but Motorola does make up for it by giving us the Snapdragon 632. That's a pretty decent processor, especially for a phone in this tier, and it certainly will get the job done. Navigating around apps, navigating around the OS, going on social media, doing text messages, all that stuff, calls as well, which sound very clear in here, by the way. All that stuff works completely fine, and the processor does an ample job of keeping things nice and smooth. Now, video recording with the phone maxes out at 1080p. The device features a pretty decently large 3,550 milliamp hour internal battery. As far as the software goes, we are getting Android 10 here with the phone, which is great. It's pretty much a stock experience. I did install a variety of my own apps, but I have no complaints when it comes to the software and the optimization of that software. Now, there's no NFC with this phone, so keep that in mind. So if that is a feature that you want, you're not going to get it with the Moto E 2020. But now that we've gone over the specifications of the device, let's now take a closer look at the hardware. So I already talked quite a bit about the front panel here. In general, it has a nice looking display. It would have been kind of nice if the corners here weren't quite as curved. It looks kind of goofy with how curved they are, so I don't know why they keep doing that on a lot of these phones. but in general, it's good enough. I do like the design. Now taking a look at the left side of the phone, we have the slot for the micro SD card and SIM card. Then on the right of the phone, we have the power button and volume button. By the way, this phone is completely made out of plastic, besides the display, which is glass, of course. Now on the top, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack and noise canceling microphone. And then on the bottom, we have the microphone, micro USB port for charging and data transfer, and we have the speaker. So it is a bit disappointing that we are getting micro USB with the phone. That's probably my least favorite feature about it. I really do wish that we did get USB-C, but I suppose with the other various advantages that this phone does offer for its price, I can live with micro USB. But again, if they had given it USB-C, that would have made the phone a lot better, in my opinion. Now taking a look at the back of the device, you can see it does pick up a lot of fingerprints, which is definitely a bit disappointing, but that's what you get with the reflective back. We have the camera module, we have the fingerprint sensor, and we have the flash as well. But other than that, a pretty minimalist design here with the phone. But let's now take a look at everything that you do get here in the box. We'll open this up and see. So we do get some literature. Here's the literature. We also get a SIM card removal tool, and then we get a USB wall adapter, and then finally we get a micro USB cable. So they give you everything that you need to get going here with the phone. This device is definitely good for social media. Things run nice and smoothly on Instagram, for example, so no complaints there. And then you can go over to your various stories and view the content on there as well, so that works good too. And then you can swipe over and create your own content as well. So I'm recording a video here with the Moto E 2020. Good microphone as well. The tip that I want to show you is how to see the battery percentage in the upper right corner during all times when using the device. So I'm very happy with the speaker quality as well as the video quality here with the Moto E 2020. The speakers are nice and loud and definitely better than what I'd expect for a phone in this price range. Now when watching video here on the phone, you do have two different options. You can watch it in the standard format, but you can also crop in if you want to for a more immersive experience. But in general, I feel like this is a decent phone for content consumption, and it also helps too that we are getting a decently large display here as well at 6.2 inches. Another really impressive thing about the Moto E 2020 definitely has to be the photo and video quality. So the camera does have the ability to take some really nice looking pictures, so in general I have no complaints about it. And to be honest, it really does exceed my expectations for a device in this price range. Now I wouldn't expect a phone in this tier to be able to take flagship style photos, but what's nice though is that the photos and videos that it does take are good enough that you can post them on social media and you can preserve those memories without looking at the pictures and thinking that the quality is bad. Because like I said, the actual quality is quite good. So I'm certainly happy with it. Let's now take a look at some video samples from the phone. What's going on everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with a front-facing test video from the Moto E 2020. So let me know what you think of the quality. Also let me know what you think of the microphone quality from the device as well. But so far it looks like a really awesome phone with impressive cameras, especially for the price. And here is a test video with the rear camera from the Moto E 2020 in 1080p. So let me know what you think of the quality here. Very quick and smooth autofocus in video mode, which is fantastic. And you know, this phone especially seems like a great value for what you're getting for the money. So let me know what you think. Really good autofocus as well on that flower, for example. So I'm very impressed. So in conclusion, is the Moto E 2020 a good choice? I've got to say, I'm very impressed with this phone. Motorola has really been doing well lately by giving us a lot of value with their budget devices. And comparing this device to the Moto E6 from last year is like day and night. This phone is so much better in every single way. Now I do have a comparison between those two devices, but I'm just letting you know here that Motorola really did do a lot of innovation to be able to give us so much value here. I really like that we're getting the Qualcomm Snapdragon 632. That's a great feature. I like that we're getting really decent photo and video quality from the phone. And then finally, getting this nice large display on here makes this phone excellent for content consumption. Whether it's watching videos, going on social media, browsing the web, All those things are going to work really well here with the phone, and that's due to it having such an awesome design. So I definitely do recommend the Motorola Moto E 2020. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.